Hey, thanks for joining another episode of Playing the Artist, where we talk about just trying to be artists. My name is Alex. My name is Antoine. That's Alex.
That's not the first time
that I have said I'm Alex. He has hair. I don't got any hair. I'm big. He's short. Perfect tag team. We would have ruled WWE. Yeah, Alex, how are you doing, bud? You sound a little under the weather a bit.
I'm totally under the weather here. Yeah, yeah. I'm getting over it, but still got the sniffles. So here I am.
Garlic.
I'm not drinking coffee this morning. I'm drinking tea with honey in it.
You got some ginger in there?
Nope.
You got
just honey. Just honey. Just sugar.
Okay. So, what'd you get up to on the weekend?
Oh man. Fuck. I don't know. That was like 2 days ago. What did I do? I didn't think you were going to ask me that.
What am I supposed to ask you?
I don't know. Usually don't ask me stuff, I guess. You just go.
What? No, that's not true. Hey, by the way, we have 2 episodes named 25, by the way.
Oh, really? Okay, I'll fix that.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'll delete one. I called this one 26, so I guess I got to call this one 27.
I put 27 in the description of the thing I gave you.
This is what happens when you don't send me like images for a few weeks. I just go off the rails. I don't know what episode it is.
Jeepers. So maybe, hey, you want to see? How about we'll jump right into it? You want to see my Kickstarter page, like the mock-up?
Oh, fine. Yeah.
What I got so far?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to share my screen.
All right.
All right. Approve that. There we go. Okay. So this is there's no video yet. I'll be working on that soon. So this is what it would be like without a video. So yeah. So a little description, all that jazz.
Oh, hey, whoa.
What?
I have what are these symbols in the corner here? I guess you can't see my marker, but in the corner of your next to your Forbidden Print logo in the image.
You'll see. You'll see.
Oh, okay. Wow. You really.
You want me to scroll down?
Please do. Okay.
All right. So we have the story here, which is just a little story that just talks about like what is District 0012. It's like 3D printable sci-fi industrial building set with the building components to customize your own industrial complex. And I have a little story. You've lost connection with District 0012. It's been 1 week since you last heard anything. You've been assigned to assemble a reconnaissance team to investigate investigate the district's radio silence. And then I say this project will offer you 70 different buildings and building accessories to download as STL files. And then a little disclaimer, just to make sure there's no confusion, that this is just digital files for 3D printing for your home 3D printer. And then I have these little symbols here, and I'll have these symbols in the video too once I make the video. And it's just a little symbols that are just really clear cut, no supports, FDM optimized, and then a little spiel that just talks about all the models I made. They're all optimized and designed for FDM printers, and you don't need to clean up or waste time on clipping and cleaning up supports. And we just got a couple promotional shots just to get people in the mood to keep scrolling down. And then we got a little render and then a little breakdown. Be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then we got the free model. So there's the free model, and then you can click here. And so once I have it up on Thingiverse, and I'm prepared to launch it, I'll put a URL connected to this picture. So any point when someone clicks on this page right here, I'll send them straight to Thingiverse to download this model.
Okay.
Yeah. We got.
Okay.
No, go ahead.
You just throw a link in there. It's pretty. I mean, pretty straightforward stuff.
You can customize pictures to be a link. So when they click the picture, it'll send them to somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you say click here and here is orange, it makes you want to click right there.
Exactly. So it,
So okay.
They can click anywhere on the page. I'll have it so because like this is one whole picture. Like this title here, this picture, and this picture right here. That's one whole image.
I see. So anywhere they click there.
Yeah. So they can't miss it. They can't fuck it up. And then we got the reward tiers, and it's just the first tier, and then the basic tier, and then the all-in tier. I will be adding the tier for selling and stuff like that. I still have to figure out the legal issue with I gotta find essentially documentation on some sort of legal document where I'm making a truce with somebody. You know what I mean? They sign it and they can't fuck me over. So.
Yeah. I've seen that. Somewhere.
Yeah, no, there's plenty.
Do some digging.
There's plenty of free ones online, and you can actually customize it a bit and stuff like that too. And anyways,
yeah.
So
an artist had done a Kickstarter just for that reason, where he his campaign was to create a bunch of some template contracts
documents
for artists specifically. So
that's awesome. Anyways, and this is just the core set, and the core set's right here, the 35 set. So $35 tier, and this just goes through all the models you'll receive in just the core set.
Okay.
So it just goes all through the stuff, all the fanciness, all the what they're all named.
So you're bringing I thought the bile stuff was going to be stretch goals, but I guess
I do have some. I have a bunch of bile stuff that is in the stretch goals. But here comes the stretch goals. So stretch goals, and then it just talks about all these stretch goals are only offered to people in the $60 tier. And then a little thing that just says help promote the page so we can reach our stretch goals. I actually lowered my stretch goal prices.
Oh, the unlocks.
Yeah. So this was originally 2,000.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and I took 1,000 off of everything pretty much.
What's your you said it was 500 or something? Your goal?
Yeah. Up here. 500.
Gotcha.
It was originally more, but then I saw another Kickstarter and it was 500, and I was like, you know what? I think 500 is a pretty decent thing, and then 1,000 for the first stretch goal, But we'll see what happens. Anyway, so here's my stretch goal page, and there's all little silhouettes of hiddenness.
So okay.
And then here's the big bile kind of gross ones that are that I want people to get excited for because they're very unique and different and
gotcha.
Cool. And then this is where I'm at so far. I still have to write a description for features. And so features will just be, there'll be a bunch of other text within the pages. So features is just going to talk about component mixing and matching, what you can do, and just some different examples of stuff you can build when you back the campaign. So yeah, that's where I'm at so far. I still have to do like I said, I still have to flesh out the the feature part, right? Features. And then I'm gonna make a little behind the scenes, so a little talking about me, my career as a 3D artist in video games. I'll also have a little area where it's talks about the print, the printer I used and what scale of printer you'll at least need. So I'll talk about I did everything on this Endor 3, blah blah, just a little breakdown, because there was this one Kickstarter I've been following. It's done now, but it's their template, like how they showed everything off. I'm really taking I'm taking from a couple actually. Like I'm looking at a bunch of like successful and ones that I like that I feel that did a really good job in explaining things, and I just essentially like took their like template and just like altered it a little bit, fixed it up, and like changed the wording up here and there and stuff like that, and just like, you know what I mean? Just like took that and then just made it my own. And you could be like, "Oh, Antoine, you're like copying other people," but it's like, why, you know, why hurt my brain?
Why hurt
trying
my
to
brain?
and figuring out all this stuff where everybody else already done it, and I could just kind of make it and then make it my own. And you know,
Yeah, I don't think there's a patent on it or anything. I mean, the best.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Like the best approach would be to not just, because if you copy one, then you get everything it did well, but you also inherit its like flaws. You know, if you just kind of do it blindly like that. So hopefully, you know, I mean, like the best way to be look at, you know, a few successful ones and sort of, you know, analyze them and pick up the best things, and you know, and then maybe your campaign will be, you know, will help out future campaigns as well.
Right? I hope so. Yeah,
stepping it up in that way.
Well, like for an example, like the first starting bit with like the story and the breakdown and like the little images for like the no snipping, like the no supports and FDM approved.
Those are really clear. Yeah, I thought
those are 3 different campaigns like smushed together. Like I pulled, like there's 3 different elements from 3 different campaigns. I just like took those because I like them and they explain a lot, and it there's like the clear information and structure wise. So I just took that and like took those 3 and just like smushed them together in my own way, and then, you know, changed the wording and whatnot around.
Cool.
So, so I got pretty much all the information done for the Kickstarter, but I'm just missing one thing, and that's the story. So
the story.
Hey, how did you? Oh, you could just do that. Anyways, so like here, I got all this. Yeah, don't warn me on that. Warn me, piece of shit. Anyway, so like here, there's like the basic rewards, and there's the story element, and I'm halfway done the story element. I don't know what else to fill in for the story to make it complete, but there's still a lot of stuff I need to fill out and stuff.
Oh, it gives you a checklist.
Yeah, and I got the people, so that's just me, and then the payment information, so that's like all my information for my banking and my business. And then I'll get submit project review, and then project review, and it's 1 to 3 business days. But I don't know how to finish story, so I guess I'll maybe click that or something. Or something like that. But yeah.
Are the rewards? Is the reward tier complete?
No.
Can you look at that again? Oh, okay.
Well, I can click this open right now. So I have in here. There's the early bird tiers. So these will only pop up once the campaign's actually like starting or whatever. So right now I have it for February 1st, and it ends on February 7th. So it's a week of getting early bird. And this is just the early bird tier. And in the early bird tier, you just get 70 model STL files, and you save $10.
Yeah.
And whoops, my bad. And then, you know, and if you miss that, then it's going to be $35. But then there's the early bird extra, which is $45, and you save $15 instead of 10. You know, because like the all in is 60. So
here's what one small piece of feedback is, like, if the early bird extra is exactly the same as all in, I would call it like the all-in early bird extra or something.
Ooh, that's a really good one. Actually, I'm gonna oops.
So it's hyper clear, because that's what you're getting, right?
Yeah. In early bird. Yeah, I like that. All in early bird. Yeah, that's cool.
Cool, man.
Yeah, so and I will have a final tier, which will be the buyer seller tier. Sorry, the seller's tier.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sweet, dude. That's cool. I like it.
It's coming along.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So what I was thinking is I actually got to get this thing approved as quickly as possible. So, okay, stop sharing my shit. There. Now you can't. Now you can't touch it.
Oh, you figured it out.
Yeah, I figured it out. The monkey has the power now.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So I'm gonna get this thing approved as quick as possible, because then once it's approved and the story's down and whatnot, then I'll have like a 2-week grace period to work on the video I want to work on, because I have no idea how to make videos. Premiere Pro.
Yeah.
Is it Premiere?
I mean, yeah, a lot of people use Premiere.
Well, I just feel like that should be like I'm very savvy with Photoshop, so I'm sure there's some similar things. Maybe
it's so different, dude.
I bet it is.
It's really different.
But I found some tutorials.
After Effects is the one that's like Photoshop.
But After Effects is for like putting filters and like different things, and
it's a bit more visual effects based, yeah. But I mean, you could totally edit your whole thing in there. I think the big like advantage over like if you're just doing editing is like the wipes, transitions. They've got like kind of, you can just drag and drop the transitions down, which is kind of nice. But
anyways, I found some tutorials on like Premiere. It's like basic bare bones, where it's like a 30-minute to 20-minute tutorial, and it's just like all basic how to get started and how to like make a video, So I'm just like, that's the video right there. That's what I need. And anyways, I'm gonna have a 2-week grace period of like promoting my page, my Kickstarter. So like on Instagram and maybe even Thingiverse somehow, maybe, and Reddit and stuff like that. And also looking into getting ads for the Kickstarter page. And then also making a video for 2 weeks. I'm sure 2 weeks will be plenty of time to make a shitty little video that's like, 40 seconds long.
Mm-hmm.
And
are you going to be talking in it? Like, what is your video going to be? It's going to be images.
It's going to be some, probably a little, just a couple words here and there, and some images, and blah blah, and la di da, all that fun stuff.
Yeah,
all that fun stuff. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. So
yeah, okay, cool. It's exciting. You're almost done.
It's getting there.
Yeah,
it's happening.
Sam's asking me every day about when's Antoine's Kickstarter.
Jeepers.
He's excited, man. I'm excited for you.
Yeah? You're gonna back it?
Yeah. Sure. What's the tier where I don't get anything?
You can get $1 or more.
Okay. I have to. I feel like I have to.
You don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything, but except look pretty and smile.
I'll share it. I'll share it on my Instagram page to 160 people.
Put it on your Facebook, fool.
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I've shared your stuff on there before.
But so that's where I'm at in this whole scheme of things.
It sounds like you're doing pretty well. Yeah, you're pretty close to the. I want to say finish line, but it's kind of like the starting line.
It's pretty much the starting line.
It's like you've got your little shorts on, and you've got the little number on your chest. Your mom is at mile 23 with a glass of water waiting for you to give you a high five and a drink, and you're about to run this marathon.
I think it's more of like a fight journey to a to a fight. So it's like I think the promotion part, like the 2-week period, will be kind of like my fight camp, and then the actual fight will be when the Kickstarter happens,
Yeah.
And then the last round will be like the last day, Yeah. And then all my schooling and self-teaching and like studying and like, other projects or whatever was just like my career of like my art, you know what I mean? My martial art.
Yeah.
And then now it's leading down to this first cage match of Kickstarter.
We should have a launch party or something.
A launch party? I don't know about a launch party. I'll definitely have a countdown. Like, this is what I was thinking for Instagram, is every day have a countdown on my stories. So it'd be like, like 10 more days, 9 more days, 8 more days, blah, blah. And then it'll be like the final day or whatever. And then every like, maybe like third day, I put an actual promotion on the actual Kickstarter, like an actual page on Instagram. You know what I mean? Just so I'm not like barraging people with a bunch of like countdown stuff for my Kickstarter.
I think if you're like just posting it to your own page, I don't think that'll feel like a barrage.
That's true.
Like maybe if you're spamming like someone else's forum, then,
that's true
for sure. I'm sure you'll get booted, but it's your page. I think people expect that.
I put one of my I put a post a little while ago on what's it called again, Reddit, in one of these forums of it was like terrain builder forum, and it got flagged for Kickstarter spam. And the post got deleted. Nothing happened to me, just the post got deleted, and I was like, I was kind of bum hurt, man.
That's happened to me too.
And to me, it wasn't. Wait, really?
Yeah, on Facebook it happens. Like, there's some groups for like D&D related groups that are like the DM. I don't know specifically which group. I'm not trying to like shelter them or anything. I actually don't remember. But like, I would paste something like, "Hey, here's some artwork," and it's like, this is my art page, and then you get flagged for like promotion on there. It's like, okay, all right, well, you guys just chat amongst yourselves then, I guess. It's like, I don't know. I'm not, I'm not selling anything at the time. It's just like sharing some art. So I don't know. Some people are really particular about it.
Well, you know how you get into those like little areas, right? You know what I mean? You got to like make some sort of art that is like that serves them, right? It serves the community, right?
Yeah.
So like if it's like a certain like DM or like certain like, I don't know, page or group or whatever, you know what I mean? Like if there's something where they have like a certain kind of like, they have certain characters, or they have like a certain type of like logo or whatever or something like that, and you like made a rendition of like, let's say some of the people, like here's the thing, like Critical Role, you ever heard of those guys? So they do these like they do these live well, of course it's live, they play D&D, and they just they film it, and they're these people are like a lot of, like the DM, I forget his name, but he's the voice actor for McCree from Overwatch, but he also does other voice acting. Yeah.
Isn't that Matt Mercer, or is that somebody else?
Isn't that I can never remember his name. I think it's Matt Mercer.
He's the dude with the long hair.
And wears vests all the time.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know he was a voice actor. I thought he was just like some DM personality guy.
Yeah. But anyways, like let's say there was a page of that, and you're like, I really like this group of people, and I want to share my work with them because I feel I can I want to get in that like spot. This kind of sounds like scummy, but it's like it is what it is.
It's kind of like doing fan art, but
yeah, it is
like targeted towards somebody.
Yeah. So like I've
You're
there's this.
pandering. It's heavy
Yeah.
pandering.
Oh yeah,
Very
yeah,
time consuming pandering.
yeah. It's true. But so there's this one artist on. She's everywhere. Her name's Lavender Town.
Okay.
That's her on YouTube. That's her name on YouTube. And she draws these cute little illustrations. They're like kind of like this. It's like a mix of like anime and Adventure Time, if that makes sense. And she draws these cute little characters and stuff. And she just talks about art and like stuff like her experience as being a full-time artist. And she said something really interesting where fan art is you can go the path you can go through fan art is you make fan art just so you grab people's attention, and if they like your fan art, it means they like your style as well, right? But you know what I mean? So like they'll be like, oh, look at this Sailor Moon you drew and your style, right? And they're like, I like that character and I like that cartoon or manga or whatever. And they stick around, right? And then hopefully in the process, they enjoy your work and they stick around for your personal projects, you know, your stuff, your own stories, your own comic book, or your own art. You know what I mean? And they're like, you know, I really like this person's artwork, and I'm gonna purchase it now. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like it's a little bit of a bait and switch to an unsuspected client in a weird way. Like, hey, look at this cool stuff I make that you really like, and then it's like, look at all this other cool stuff that I like, and I think you'll like too, because you like my work, right? And then so it's kind of like, it's a little bit of a bait, a bit of a.
Well, it's like when a band does a cover song, you know, it's like a hit that everybody likes, and
it's true.
You know, so you could be like Alien Ant Farm and do that Michael Jackson song, and that's all you've got, and you're like known for that, and then you go to listen to their song, and you're like, ooh, I don't know. I don't know what this music. But
but there's probably a gang of people that were like, hey, I actually like this person's
that's
music,
right. It wasn't nobody. It was somebody you did. And,
there you go.
It's it's a good tool to use.
And to be honest, I should have done more of that leading up to this Kickstarter.
It's a trap though. It's like it's really you can get caught up in doing too much fan art.
It's only a trap if you don't plan out if you don't plan it out. You know what I mean? Like if you're just doing it for the sake of doing it for more likes and more of this and more of that and stuff like that, it's like yeah, that's really dangerous. But try to hit your style, try to offer your style and your creativity, and then sprinkled in with that fandom. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, don't make it the like, don't just make it the fandom. Yeah, the fandom. You know what I mean? Like, put a little extra on it. Something that you enjoy and you really like doing. Like, I don't know, another example, like, let's say you like making, like Gundams, right? And you really like making zombies as well, but you're like, I'm gonna make Gundam zombies, which is really weird. But it's like that's never been done before, and it's like a little bit of you and a little bit of the fandom that you enjoy as well, but also, you know, you want to get people behind you and stuff like that because you like making weird zombies of things. I don't know. That example kind of sucks.
Well, no, what you're saying is, I think, is like it helps if you found your voice and you've got this clear style. Yeah. Then the bait and switch is really like successful because.
And you're going to lose people along the way. You know what I mean? Sorry to talk over you, but you're going to lose people along the way. That's normal.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? Like Sam Freak. Oh, by the way, One Fantastic Week. Here's a promotion for One Fantastic Week. They're back today. So.
Oh, okay.
Go watch it.
Like you're telling me, like I'm like.
Go watch the more successful version that we ripped off. But Sam Flegel, he a lot of his stuff he used to do was zombie illustrations of superheroes like DC and Marvel characters, like zombie Batman. And he was saying, like, I'm pretty sure he said this too, where he said there was a lot of people that, you know, that were like, oh, I don't really give a shit about his Nordic stuff, his like you know, Nordic Viking stuff, and they're like, I'm just gonna peace out because I was just here for the
zombies,
the Batman zombies. But there was people that were like, oh wow, look how talented you are at making this other cool shit. I will definitely partake in this thing you're offering. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so he kind of like made like a hard cut almost. I don't know about a hard cut. I would have to hear him. We would have to. That'd be actually a good question to ask him.
You're
like,
servicing two like separate communities. You know, you got.
That's a good question for him.
That's a lot of work.
You know what I mean?
What are you gonna ask him?
Like, because the thing is, they have that live chat, right? That'd be a cool question to ask for Sam, where it'd be like, was it a hard cut? Sorry?
Why don't you join the chat and tell him how you feel?
I will. Was it a hard cut? Like making that type of art and that type of work? Was it a hard cut, or was it like gradually, did you plan it out or something? Or just was it like one day it was like, no more, I'm not offering this. I have this stack of these zombie Captain Americas, and that's it. And then if they're sold, and whatever. Like that's it. Like, was it a hard cut, or was it like just slowly but surely made less and less pieces, and like kind of phased it out? You know what I mean? Kind of like the pipeline they're like building here in the gas pipeline. Like they're like, no, we're not going to build it. And like, we're just looking at the area now. And then they're just like, we're just touching the soil. And so it's like, they're just slowly but surely just like inching to like their more desired outcome. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I don't know. I think at some point it's got to be a hard cut, because he's totally branded himself
as the Viking guy.
The Viking Faithful Science. You know, his booth became not just Sam Flegel, but Faithful Science. So, and a zombie thing. You know what? It was probably that very moment when his booth, was no longer Sam Flegel. Like, you can't put zombie stuff in a Faithful Science booth. That's kind of weird, right?
Except if it was zombie Vikings, you know. Sure.
Yeah. Even that is like, it's different from what he's doing.
Cliche.
Yeah. It's just the Viking work is a bit more timeless.
Oh yeah, most definitely. That work. It'll. Well, you said it best right there. It'll just be timeless.
It's a bit more of like a mature clientele that I think probably is more interested in original art anyways, you know, because he likes to do traditional work. And you know, the whole like Viking Norse kind of, you know, they're kind of like they're very romantic about the time, and I think they appreciate like things done by hand a bit more. And so I think painting like fits in way better than just digital painting would. Whereas like the zombie Batman is like, you know, it's like probably a lot of like kids and man-child kids who like I don't think care as much about the craft. They're more after that I don't know,
that cool thing, that cool thing, that one of a kind
cool
collector.
Image. They're gonna put it on their desktop wallpaper, right? They're not gonna hang it above their fireplace.
Yeah.
So they probably, I don't know. Their mom will be like, take it down.
I understand what you're trying to say. It's
it lends to his medium more, you know.
Yeah. And you can really tell like Sam, like him, you can really tell like that's genuinely who he is, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and I don't know that fan art would help him at this point, you know?
No, not at all, but it probably helped him in the beginning, you know what I mean?
Maybe
it helped
if he did a Kratos, like a traditional oil painted
Kratos
beheading something, it'd probably do well. What am I saying?
No,
gangbusters. Somebody would buy it.
Yeah, probably somebody, but that'd be kind of off-brand, and like some of his, his patrons or his followers would be like, "What? What the fuck is
And that's
going
the
on here?"
thing. Once you have a certain amount of followers, like, do you have the time to dedicate yourself to this piece that's like
Off-brand.
off-brand like that? Because you're kind of taking. I don't. Maybe he does. Maybe only 50% of his time is devoted to faithful signs, and the other 50% he's able to have a bit more freedom to do.
Well,
other things.
I think his website, The Faithful Signs, I think that's genuinely what he wants to do. You know what I mean? Like, I think if you gave him just free time, if money wasn't an option or anything like that, he would be doing stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also,
I mean,
he's probably got it out of his system too, because he
Yeah.
has mentioned it before when he was younger. His first paid gig was making Warhammer art, making ogres and not ogres, making orcs and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So he's done a lot of like that kind of romanticized, childish thing.
I'm sure he would. I'm sure he always would continue to do it. But I'm asking if, like, he has free time, and I've heard that he spends his, he talks about painting miniatures as a thing. But like, if you're an artist and you have free time, some of that free time is going to be making art as well, right? That's sort of like,
I don't know, man,
as a
because
pastime.
like for me, pastime art. I don't know. It depends, right? Well, someone could argue miniature painting is pastime art.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
sure it is. It's artwork, but you can't really, doesn't really make sense to sell.
Some people do sell their busts. Like some artists make these amazing busts, and then people paint them. And there's amazing painters out there, and they're just so good where people are like, I want that in my house.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I sure would like to make art that is not like so just like monetizable, I guess. Like like for example, I took one character I made and I turned I created an animation in Zbrush just to see what it would be like to animate frame by frame, on a sculpt. And it's like there's no way to sell that or market that or anything, but it's still, I don't know, it's still something I wanted to try and do. Just kind of it's kind of like when you model, like when you're modeling, you're interlocking things, like aren't you designing some mechanism or something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's for a Kickstarter or what, or when you draw on a cup, you draw flowers on cups and just leaving places,
I don't do that anymore, though.
Well, you did at one point.
Yeah, because I was trying to figure things out. I was trying to we already went through this. You know what I mean? Many times.
I think if the only artwork you do in your life is just like the job stuff, I think that's like kind of, I think you're setting yourself up for like stagnation a little bit. I think you need to explore a bit without having to like hit a deadline and hit this like the style of this deliverable, like you know what I mean? Like, I think it's important to branch out sometimes and try something new.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and everything doesn't have to be monetized and whatnot. That's very true.
The first miniature you ever made was not part of your work at that time. Like,
no,
that was you playing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I understand that. I understand that, but there's a certain point where you have to put that aside, and you gotta like barrel down into one thing. And we've said this before: you gotta hold on, stay on the bus, right?
Yeah. What I'm thinking, like, what got us onto this topic is like, if your time, let's say, like, what percentage of your time is required to like float your business, whatever it is, right? Is it 50% of your day? Is it 75% of your day? I think ideally you don't book yourself 100% of your day. You've got to reserve a bit of time.
Instead of thinking about it per day, you can think it per week. You know what I mean? It's just like out of the week, how many days are dedicated to set project or set time to sketch out ideas or whatnot. There's been many times where I've had ideas where like, oh, this would be really fun to try to like block this out and test 3D print this thing. Because remember my idea of these puzzle, like these, not puzzles, but I guess you could say like locking mechanisms that could be 3D printed and that are themed and designed for role-playing games like D&D or Pathfinder or whatever. Like that's a really cool idea that excites me, and I want to like start modeling and start test printing this stuff, right? But I can't do that right now because there's the Kickstarter I'm trying to get done and stuff like that.
For sure. Yeah, I think you're in a time where it makes total sense to focus, and really give this all of your attention. But I think that there's got to be a healthy balance there where you can have, you know what I mean? Like, if we're gonna compare ourselves to Pete and Sam again, like Sam.
I'm Pete. You're Sam.
Which one's Pete again? You're Pete.
What? I'm Pete.
Oh, why do you say that? You're more of a.
I look more. We have the same skin tone, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's the same kind of white, potato-eating Irish white.
But Pete. Pete's the one who does Angelarium and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's set his pace to do one painting per month, right? And if he can do that, then he's his business will stay afloat. But he can produce more than a painting a month. Like he's not planning himself.
That's true, but he's probably but he has a bunch of other shit on the back burners, right? He has to mail out stuff. He has to organize stuff for other conventions and stuff like that. So he probably does that months and months in advance, right? All that planning, right? And then also he has a Kickstarter that he's like, 3 years behind or something like that. So he's like squabbling to like figure out that and stuff like that. So he's got a bunch of different shit. Also, he has kids. He has a wife. He just recently moved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He probably has, and he also does. I was kind of really surprised when he took. We should just call this one fantastic week. One fantastic week recap.
Review. Yeah, right.
Recap.
So
he talked about he got fucked over by that company. What's it called again? Procreate. He got fucked over by Procreate. You told me it's because he was on holiday and he missed an email.
As I understand, yeah, he was out of town.
Well,
he wasn't.
He doesn't have internet where
online.
he was.
Maybe you're just unplugged, man. Sometimes you got to get out of the.
Then don't take a job if you're unplugged. If you're going to unplug yourself, you know what I mean?
Hey, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and argue that that.
Anyways,
probably could have been handled better on both sides.
Oh, for sure.
But I do. I don't know. Who knows the details of their agreement?
Exactly. Who knows the details? But anyways,
that's what it comes down to.
I was kind of confused and puzzled, but he kind of corrected himself in the last Christmas episode where he was like, he was giving a New Year's resolution, and his New Year's resolution was like, he was essentially said he's going to do what he preaches, and what he always preached about was working on stuff that will help him more in the long run in the stuff he likes to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like the Procreate job, he was talking about it was going to pay well and stuff like that, but unfortunately it didn't because of the mix-up. But he also said where it was like, he also said to himself, like, why did I take this job? You know what I mean? Like I could have been doing a bunch of other stuff that helps Angel, whatever, Alarium or whatever it's called. Or also working on the Kickstarter he needs to, fulfill. Why was I talking about this again?
I don't know.
Why was I bringing this up?
I don't know.
I was about to sound super smart, and now I look like a big dummy. But I think maybe I just wanted to mention where it was like, it's good to spend time on stuff that's, I don't know where I'm fucking going with this.
I think you're going to make my point if you continue.
What was your point again?
I just think people should reserve time to play around in their art form.
Oh, yeah. No, I totally agree. I totally agree. But there's a difference between playing around with your craft and downtime to relax. You know what I mean? Like, you got to separate the two, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, like, I don't know.
You might not necessarily, your downtime might not necessarily need to be making different artwork. You know what I mean? Like, you can get inspiration and motivation through different avenues, where it's playing video games with your pals, or going to movies, or miniature painting or stuff.
I think that's recharging. I think that's like life stuff. You know, whatever your pastime is, and you definitely need time for that as well. But yeah, I don't know. It's like at EA, right? You know, or any big company. Like Valve does this. So those are the two extremes. You've got a company like EA or maybe Activision. You know, those big ones where it's like, we're gonna make the projects that make us money, and aside from that, we're not really gonna, you know, do a ton of like incubation and other projects that may or may not be a success, but they're kind of out there. They're kind of like creatively different. And then you got like Valve, who doesn't really, I mean, they stick to their guns and they support their successes as well. But, you know, they've got this big staff of people, and all of a sudden they'll come out with like this new VR game that's like totally different than anything you've ever seen before. And they're reserving a lot of time in R&D, and there's projects you hear about that come and go that never get made, but they're investing a lot of time in that. And I like that approach. I mean, I think Valve maybe goes a bit too far, and I think they leave money on the table sometimes with projects they don't pursue.
Dude, Valve, the reason why they don't make that many games anymore is because it costs them. It's not as beneficial as them selling games. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And Gabe Newell, he said this, where he's like, he only wants to do things now that push the bar in technology-wise for like video games. And like, that's why the only stuff we've really seen out of Valve these days is the VR stuff, because it's like the next stepping stone. You know what I mean?
I think I would rather be Valve than Activision. You know, you've got this.
But they got a big fucking bed, though. They got a big.
You've got your main, right? You got your main.
EA can't do that though, because EA doesn't have Steam.
Well, EA has Origin. EA has FIFA.
Is nothing. No one that but the only way FIFA works is they have to make one every year.
Well, and Valve still has to support Steam. You know,
that's completely different though.
Steam doesn't just. There's a lot going on, I'm sure, like running the infrastructure of like.
I'm sure there is
biggest online,
but it probably doesn't. It probably doesn't cost as much as making games and the risk as well. Is it bigger risk making games?
It's not the cost. It's the investment of your like whatever that is, like, because they're two different size companies, right?
Yeah, so but it's also a risk.
If they're investing 75% of their effort into Steam, and let's say I don't know what EA's investment into FIFA would be. You know, maybe it's 50 or something. Like I like the idea. You have your main cash cow, your main source of business, but you know, and then Valve reserves. You know, they shave some time off the top, and they let their cash cow fund these really creative side projects. And I think it's like really important to do.
No, I agree with you.
I think individual artists should be doing that as well.
I agree with you, Alex. But EA, their cash cow is producing games. They have to make games and put them out.
Mm-hmm.
Valve's cash cow is other people making games, and then they provide it to other people. So they, you know what I mean? That's a completely different risk. Like the risk that EA takes is a lot greater, because it might be one year where people just decide to stop buying FIFA. Believe it or not, they're just like, yeah, we're done. We're done with FIFA. You know what I mean?
I guess there's 1 year. That's just as like contrived as saying 1 year people might decide not to buy games on Steam. You know, like
I totally agree. But the thing is, like, how can I say this better? The games that sell on Steam, Valve doesn't have to really promote them. You know what I mean? It's more of the people making, like, they still promote them, right? Like bestsellers and all that stuff like that, and like Steam sales.
I agree that I think Steam has a bit more of a straightforward path than I think they've got a sturdier cash cow in Steam. Valve has a sturdier cash cow in Steam than maybe EA does in FIFA, because FIFA is still a game that needs to be updated every generation and stuff like that.
And every year they have to spend millions of dollars just producing one game, to help them generate $1 billion, right?
Yeah, but every company has their thing. It's like, anyway, like Bandai Namco or whatever. Like their main is like Power Rangers, and they do other things, but like Power Rangers.
Nah, dude, it's Gundams. What are you talking about?
Is it though?
Yeah, man. Bandai.
Gundams are only big in Japan. I don't think they're big around the world.
And Power Rangers is?
Yeah, Power Rangers is like, it's like a worldwide brand. Did you watch the documentary on them that I told you about on Netflix?
I think Gundam is bigger than
it might be
Power Rangers. Anyways, you said a Power Ranger documentary?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I just got your email, and I just got your message sent from GChat right now. That's how stupid my phone is.
Yeah, well, China had to make sure I wasn't, talking shit about them.
Shut up! My phone is not listening to me. That's not true. My phone is listening to me. What was I going to say? You got really excited about your Power Ranger documentary.
Dude, just watch it. I almost cried. It was so powerful.
I saw some snippets of the Power Ranger, like, it was like a documentary on the movie. And they were talking about like how crazy of big of a deal it was. It's funny. So in the original Power Rangers, they had, my favorite Ranger was the Black Ranger, Zach,
Zach.
And I can't believe that I didn't notice, like, in the Power Ranger movie, Zach wasn't in it. It was an Asian dude that played the Black Ranger. And I was like, for some reason, it just didn't compute in my child brain to be like, where the hell's Zach, the black guy? So who knows? I guess maybe censors were like, okay, listen, this is a little too ridiculous, and this is kind of strange.
According to Google Trends, Power Rangers is a more highly searched term than Gundam.
Ah, damn it. Okay, you win.
Yeah, India, Turkey, South Africa, Brazil.
India? They're all about Power Rangers?
Apparently.
Damn.
95% Power Rangers, 5% Gundam in India.
You know what it is? You know what it is, Ben? You know what it is? Power Rangers hits a lower demographic.
Wow.
Like age group. Sorry, I meant age group.
I meant like,
I know that sounded bad when you said India and I said a lower demographic. No. Age group. I meant age group.
Yeah. There's kids like who buy the toys, and like Gundams are expensive.
Yeah, it's more of a hobby thing.
Yeah, like you do find stores in the mall that are like dedicated to Gundam, but you don't find like Power Ranger hobby stores, right?
Yeah. Dude, you know what I just found out? This is really kind of interesting. So, Pokemon, right?
Of course.
Uh, Pokemon's revenue is something like, what is it? Is 70% of the revenue is selling merchandise. Video games is only 30%.
Yeah.
So the video games and the television show are just like interactive.
Yeah.
Interactive billboards to sell plushies and Pokemon cards and toys and
crazy. Because like physical items, I just assume that there's less room for markup on physical items because they need to be produced and shipped.
Yeah.
Whereas a video game is like a digital copy that you just you get one, just flip the switch.
Yeah.
Right. But I guess that's crazy that they're still making that money off of the merch stuff.
Yeah, it just shows that people still love just buying goods.
Yeah, they still want to own physical things, right?
Well, it's kids, man. Like, remember when you were a kid, like all the toys you had and like the money you would save up to buy the toy you wanted, right?
Yeah, I know. It would be sad if all I had was an iPad with like 50 apps on it, and that was all I was doing all day.
Yeah, but this is the thing, though. Like, kids would be like, "Hey, mom, I want to buy V-Bucks for Fortnite,"
Yeah.
And so, like, that's their money that they're spending on, instead of toys, they're spending it on like digital costumes for their Fortnite characters or dances for the Fortnite characters.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the same thing, but just in a digital format.
Yeah. I'm glad people find value in that digital goods. I guess I grew up before the time of digital goods, and I still have a hard time imagining a lot of money being spent on it. But
dude, I bought some music just last year in November, just so I could put it on my phone, because in some places where I go in Saskatchewan, there's no internet, right? So I still want to listen to some tunes. I don't have internet. And that's one thing I don't miss, is having CDs and like physical media where it comes to like CDs or movies.
Yeah.
So glad that they're digital.
Some things are way better being digital.
Oh my God, it take up so much goddamn room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even games too, man. Like video games. Totally.
I'm so on board with that. But like, I've been burned that way too, where I bought all my so dumb. I really liked the first generation iPhone, as I think a lot of people did. It was like the first real smartphone, and I bought a lot of music on the App Store.
But me too. Yeah, I bought a lot of music too.
Fucking Apple is like so crappy. They just suck.
Dude, I probably have like a couple $100 worth of like movies and music on my Apple whatever,
Yeah.
But I forgot the password, and it's such a hassle to reset that password and stuff. And
then you got to install it.
I just can't be bothered. Also, iTunes is a big fucking pig when it comes to for resources when you want to like run iTunes while you're like working.
Yeah.
It takes up so much memory.
I don't know what
the fuck. What are you doing, man?
It's like running an Apple iOS in the background, like emulate like fucking operating system.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
And it's really like pushy too, with like hey, you got to update your iTunes because it updates every day.
Yeah, you got to update this, and then also it's like, and also you buy this shit and you can't like share it. You can't like bring it anywhere else. Like you can't put it on other devices. It's like, no, you can't put it on here because it's only on Apple.
DRM.
It's so disgusting. But this is what's crazy though. It's kind of okay. We're winding down here. We're going on a tangent. But what's insane? That's becoming normal with like television shows and stuff like that, right? With like streaming services.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're just renting out stuff, right?
Yeah.
And we're content on renting stuff on certain platforms. You know what I mean? Because it's like you're not paying for it. You're just renting it, but you can only watch it here. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude, if I was smart, I would make an app called like Switcher, and you pay the app $10 a month, and it just automates all the like logging in, logging out, signing in, activating of like between like Amazon Prime and Disney Plus, and because like 1 month you're like, oh, I'll watch this on Netflix, and then you're like, hey, I'm done watching things on Netflix. I'll do Disney Plus for a month. If you could have an app that just switched you as like, at your will and did all that sign up bullshit for you, and just because you're paying somebody like $10 a month.
Yeah.
That's my tip, free out there for all you app developers.
Oh yeah. All the app developers that follow us for sure.
Yeah. I'm sure there's quite a few who have an interest in people who watch too much of other people's podcasts, such as us.
Definitely
talk about it and then regurgitate it. Hey man, we're winding down here. I was gonna show my Patreon page that I whipped up, but I don't think I could follow your Kickstarter page. So maybe next week I'll show it. Because it's also in the same state where I've like made it, but it's not. I haven't like submitted it for review yet.
Okay.
But
get it.
There's a lot less that goes into it, I think, than a Kickstarter.
Submit it for review.
Yeah, I think I need to add tiers first. I haven't settled on my tiers yet.
Okay.
But yeah.
Alrighty then. I guess that's it. So. Thanks for joining another episode of Playing the Artist. We stream every Tuesday at 7 o'clock for all the British people.
That's 7 PST.
Yeah, Pacific time.
American time.
If you like the show and you want to help us out, you can subscribe and hit the little bell icon and to be notified when we go live or when a new episode goes up. Alex, where can we find you?
Yeah, you can find my work at Tiger Skull RPG on Facebook, and there's a few other links in the description to Instagram and Thingiverse. But look up Tiger Skull RPG, and hopefully you'll find something to that effect. Although, I mean, I'm pretty. I tried Googling myself and. You don't find yourself right. There's a lot of other shit in there. I'm like, come on, man. When will I be Googleable?
When there's more traffic, or when you have like a proper website,
Yeah, I think in the pages I have, and I need to like have more of like my name and like reiterate the name of my page more in the descriptions and stuff, so that way it just like is out there more, and also just like. I need to actually make like those extra accounts, like making the DeviantArt account for myself, Twitter, like just anything, Tumblr. Like I think the more you make, the more searchable you'll be. Even though you have one as your main and the other ones just kind of get like waterfall posts from other social media, like nothing unique per se, but that's something for later. Anyway, that's my spiel.
You just went on a little tangent there. You're really upset that you can't be searched up sooner.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think there's some work that can be done there to improve that, and it might, rise the tide of all your.
Well, here's one thing: your name on your Facebook is completely different than your other names, so that doesn't help.
Yeah, I don't have like the art of Alex Kolakowski or something.com.
Yeah, I think a website would help. Anyways, enough about you.
Hey, you asked.
I did. I was just asking for your plugs, man. You just gave me a whole spiel on like why you're not switched up as much.
Well, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Forbidden Prints, which is forbidden_prints, like printer, like 3D printer. Also, you can find me on Thingiverse, which is just Forbidden Prints, one word. And you can also find me on Twitter, which is just Forbidden Prints, one word. Also, I fixed the thing on Twitter. Yeah, I changed it to an S.
Okay, good. I have to change the description in the show now.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure did I fix it? And anyways, You can find me there, and also if you go on ArtStation and you just type in my name right there, you can see some of my previous artwork.
Are you going to make a Forbidden Prince art station, or are you going to continue with Antoine Marchildon?
I think I might just continue on that one, and I might just maybe, I don't know, put like some info to like where you can follow me, like on my like Forbidden Prince. You know what I mean?
Because have you heard of Mirko Durjevic?
No, but we can save that for another time because we're ending the show.
All right. Okay, let's talk about it next time. Social media accounts. Let's get to the bottom of this and figure out how we should really be doing this. Because I feel pretty haphazard at the moment.
I think it's a patient thing. I think it's a time thing.
Sure.
Let me think here. Yeah, that's it. Thanks for joining. And hopefully anybody watching this and you're an artist and you're trying to make art and try to make it as a full-time thing, like hopefully you have a good week and all that jazz. Anyways, Alex next week, or maybe I might see you this week. So
maybe. All right.
All right. Ciao.
Okay, later.
Bye-bye.